It's Madden NFL 23. Coming up, we'll see Elijah Moore. He had a standout game 1 week ago with 3 touchdown catches. It's the Jets and the Falcons. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect fall football weather. And we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Jets and the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Falcons in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. As a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Quickly to the air is Wilson. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And really an excellent run, sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago. 20 carries, 87 yards.
He's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
Forced out to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
All about the offense so far this drive, getting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap. Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. 6 yards left on second down. Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Now make that a second sack here in the first drive out defensively, and we have to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they got to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback, maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So instead of a 4th down coming up after the incomplete pass, they get a roughing the passer call, and that's going to set them up with a 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down the ground. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll try to capitalize on play number 11 of this opening. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Leading them out from Texas A&M at quarterback, Kellen Mond.
And when Kellen Mond left College Station, he held most of Texas A&M's passing records, total yards, passing yards, touchdowns, you name it. And then he went to the NFL draft in 2021 on the heels of being the 2021 Senior Bowl MVP. And the Vikings took him in the 3rd round that year. NFL arm strength at his best when he loosens up in the pocket and lets his talents flow.
Now Patterson to start the drive. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mond looks to throw. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. The Falcons come into this one still undefeated despite the 1 tie. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On the counter, it's Connor. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Ready?
A first carry for Tyler Algier. And some room to maneuver. 14 yards there, and a Falcon first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mon. That's complete right around the 8. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Escaping the pressure right. He's got it. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Now a stoppage, and oh boy, we've got Mayfield shaken up on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Okay, right?
Now Mon. This is caught. Touchdown. Anthony Ferguson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they'd love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And, you know, there's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in 1st place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight at just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
That's taken on the 25. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return.
And it will be Falcon football.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That what you're really seeking, but there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. It's a gain of 4 there that gives him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Bond out of the shotgun. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Here's Mond. Quick slant to Brown. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
Mond's throw into the hands of Ferkser here. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Connor up the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times they're
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off.
What's up, man?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 23 yards, the final tally. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to...
Various shouts from these crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll give to Hall. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, 53 yards. And the Jets are an extra point away from drawing level. And that looked almost to be a case of, you know, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one at 62 yards in the air. Point after, right down the middle. And we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Fielded right around the 8. And able to get this out to the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Bond going to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Bond's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Algier going straight ahead. He's got it to the 43 here.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
They run behind center with Connor. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards to gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Third down from the gun, it's Mond. And he fires one, but incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And New York set to take the field. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Ball again on second down. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Ball again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down. To throw is Wilson. They'll try nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Falcons grab it. And they have possession. And they have it at the 38-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work at it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go down.
They start the drive with Connor, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And some room to work. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Holding. Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
A second down throw now for Mon. There's the one in there to drop him.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
On fourth down, Don Maggio out to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Jets take it over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
On first down, Wilson. Being chased, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On third down, Wilson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Here we go, set.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And it's the Niners who have the lead in that one. Deebo Samuel, a touchdown reception. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail in that one to the visiting Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Nick Chubb with 2 touchdowns thus far. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jets. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. We're just about set to get back to it. Both teams making their final adjustments, and we'll head back to Atlanta and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold it.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The Falcons send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's pulled in at the 32. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw pulled in by Schwartz. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. Flush to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Arnold Ebiketie racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. This is Connor running right. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Over the middle, caught by London.
And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Now it's Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down. Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can execute offensively.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
63 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Got his man. It's London. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Ready?
On the handoff, Connor. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. sees that the ball is moved to the middle, and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. From the gun, a give to Connor. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Connor. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal.
The reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
And they're going to lose some on this play, being knocked back to the 18. So the scoring dried up here in the 3rd. Nothing that quarter for either side. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Wilson.
Got an open man. It's Schwartz.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now it's Wilson.
Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1 yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. All again on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Back to the ground with Hall. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tough.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now a handoff up the middle. Horn, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 3rd and goal. Keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Now Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Marlon Davidson coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And this one is right through. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The Falcons ready to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
The 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Here's Mond. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Connor. And the ball is knocked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they have it at the yard line.
Well, partner, here football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Mond out of the shotgun. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over. So here's Wilson and the Jets. Down 16-13. A little under a minute 50 remaining. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. They'll go for it. It's Hall. And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Algier again on second down. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Let's go.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
We all just got a heck of a show, partner. This was a close game for a long time. Close at half, close down the stretch. Home team finds a way to get it done, a narrow victory.
Yeah, they finished with a flourish, didn't they? Because there were times where each side looked like they were the better team out there. And the outcome's in doubt for much of this game. Every snap seemingly more important than the previous one. Great effort from the guys visiting. But in the end, how about those guys in their home stadium finding a way to win?
So for Atlanta, they pick up win number 7 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Jets, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.